Gotcha.
And
We're live.
Yeah, live.
Alive again.
Yeah. I know.
Arnold's first on his channel, the Around the World Fishkeepers live stream.
Mm-hmm. All thanks to Jeff.
That's all right.
Is audio video good?
Mandy is saying, yeah, everything's all good.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Rebecca and Jeff are talking about L numbers.
Oh, are they? Nice.
All very technical, that is. L numbers.
Yeah.
Right, should we go through chat first?
Yeah, let's do
Right,
that.
Rebecca, Jeff, Rebecca, Jeff, Rebecca, Jeff, Rebecca.
So we've got Canisto Valley Cichlids, we've got Jeff Kane, we've got Sweet Acres Koi Farm, we've got Mandy, Rebecca, who else we got? Scrolling down.
Tommy, Thanks and Fish.
Tommy, yeah.
Mal popped in.
We've got Mal. Hello, Mal.
Horizon
Mal.
Fish Keeping.
We've got Shane. We've got Dave. Who else we got? Only Oscars June. Yep, so that's everyone in chat. Everyone in chat. And then we've got our great guest Jason from 5 Star Bettas.
Yes, indeed.
Hello.
Hi, Jason.
So what I'll go. You start it off, Jeff. I'll just put Jason's link in the chat quickly.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I was talking to Jason earlier this week, and we were going to be talking about some general issues with the within our aquariums and everything, and we were going to talk about how we resolve them and how, just kind of like basic stuff. But what did you have? What was it you had in mind, Jason, about some of the issues that we were going to talk about?
I think we're talking about like blackbeard algae is one. Cycling a tank is another one I've always get asked a million times. Green water, when the water goes completely green and soiled, it's another question I would get asked a million times how to treat. What happens when a tank crashes? That's another question I get asked all the time. Why are my fish dying?
Yeah.
So I think there's 2 topics we could hit on. It's quite common. I've been asked that question a million times working on pet stores with it, why and how to treat it. And I figure between the 4 of us, we probably all have different ways of treating and different experience. We probably share with the community.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, that's all in chat now.
So I've only had blackbeard algae a couple times, and what did I do to get rid of it? I'm not sure if I had animals that ate it, but it didn't last very long. I had it just came on for a little bit. It didn't last too long. Just trying to figure out what I had at the time. Because I didn't do anything. I didn't use any hydrogen peroxide or nothing like that. I don't like the idea of using that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me neither. I've always just used Siamese flying fox for the blackbeard algae.
Oh, yeah.
Majority of the time when I do get blackbeard algae, it comes off of plants I got from someone else.
Okay.
That's usually how I always get it. But yeah, I find Siamese algae eaters, when they're young, like mid-size, they tend to do a great job of killing it off. Once they become adults, they're just lazy little guys, and they won't touch it anymore. That's one way I've always done. I've heard people use hydrogen peroxide. I've never tried that way. I would get nervous putting any kind of bleach or hydrogen in my tank. I don't know if you guys have ever tried it, Arnold and Andrew.
No, never tried it at all.
I have not.
Me neither.
I know that when I had some cyanobacteria once that came like a blue-green jelly type algae.
Yeah, I have that right now too.
I've had that. And it comes in like a real thick gel, and it sticks to the glass. It sticks to pretty much everything. And I'll be honest. I tell this to people, they don't believe me, but when I first got my very first group of black mollies I had in the tank, honest to God, within about a month, they devoured every bit of that cyanobacteria algae, that blue-green algae. They ate it.
Oh, wow.
They went to town on it too. I'm telling you, they didn't just pick at it; they were gobbling it. I mean, their stomachs were so fat, and then they would every day after day they just continued just to mouth through it. And they cleaned that whole tank was absolutely spotless of it. I was amazed, and that's the same group of mollies I have here, the forebears from the ones I have right now.
Well, I'm surprised they actually ate it. I've never had any luck with any fish eating the cyano, to be honest.
Well, they did. They peeled it off the glass. They peeled it off the plants. They picked at it through the substrate. They cleaned everything. And it was the real thick, like a gelatin type.
No, I have it right now. It's pain in the butt. I'm constantly trying to suck it out, and they can never get rid of it.
Do you have any mollies in your fish room?
I do not. I might
Maybe
have
have
to
to send Jason some.
You might have to.
If you remember, Jeff, last year I had an issue with hair algae in the tank that's in the greenhouse with the baby black moors, and they were trying to eat the hair algae, but then they were getting trapped because it was passing through the gills. They were getting locked onto the algae. Had to, I'll say.
Didn't they do that
a
with
couple of times.
the Elodia plant you had? They kind of went through the gill plate and hanging out the gill.
It was the algae, not the Elodia. Oh, that was a guppy last week.
Oh.
It was the root and the Elodia.
Oh wow.
But that's the one that ended up doing a headstand, but it survived, fortunately. She's a good breeder.
I was going to say, I've found going back on the BBA. I found a fish that will absolutely devour blackbeard algae, and that's Crevensis fry.
Oh really?
Yep. Mine. My whole Anubius was covered in it.
Yep.
Wow.
So I put it in with the Crevensis, and now it's just pure green leaves now.
That's cool.
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm not a plant person, but I know that Anubius is quite prone to it.
Such a slow.
Gets it on the edges.
Yeah, Nubius and swords. Those are two plants I always get blackbeard on.
Yeah.
That's good to know about Crevensis fry. I would have never thought that.
No, I never thought that, but yeah, I'm looking at them right now, and they're pecking at it.
I have to start breeding some Crevensis.
Yeah. Maybe you need to breed yours, Jeff.
Yeah, maybe I might have to send them some after they're looking like they're getting ready to pair. They're pairing off.
Pairing off, yeah.
Some of the females are starting to get that purple spot on their
purple belly.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Especially on the albinos, you got that whitish cream colored fish, and you got that purple spot. It's like pretty nice.
Oh, the albinos still get a purple belly too?
I mean, I did breed Crevensis, but I just couldn't get rid of them. Nobody wants them up in Yorkshire. I think it's different for you than Arnold. You can sell them no problem.
Yeah, mine just goes like that.
But up here,
yeah,
nobody wants them.
They
Same
sell
with
pretty good here. They don't
Sorry,
sell
Jason.
They don't sell in mass at all. You can't even give them away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, they sit around for months in the pet stores.
Oh.
Yeah, no, if you breed them, you're stuck with them.
Okay.
Because everybody rather have a Pistos in my area than a Crevensis. Crevensis got kicked out and everybody replaced it with a Pistos.
Oh wow.
Okay.
You know, if you had like double reds, triple reds, or orange flash, you'll sell them drop of a dime. A Pistos, the Crevensis, they just fit. Yeah.
They sell here. They don't sell for as much as the Pistos do, but they still sell here the Crevensis. I'm hoping that my albinos, because that's something you don't see a lot very often. I'm hoping they will sell a little better when they find
You
them.
don't see the albinos around my area at all. You just see the standard Crevensis. Yeah, that's all you see. But talking about BBA, Tommy has put lack of light, too many nutrients, and not enough tannins. So I think that's what causes it, I think.
Yeah, I know if I have too much light with my Anubias, I always get algae breakout.
And Dave was saying he uses CO2 to get rid of algae. It works a treat and liquid CO2 booster.
I've heard that one too.
I've never used CO2 in any of my tanks.
No.
I mean, I've got a little bit of DBA in the. I've got a tank where I've got bristlenose and guppies. And there's Anubias in there, and I've got a little bit that, the black-beard algae. But what I might do, if looking at what Tommy said, was obviously not enough tannins. So, I mean, I have got driftwood in there. Spiderwood.
Get some Indian almond leaves or something.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. Just thinking about chucking a couple of those in.
Yeah.
Because I do have some. And we'll see.
Yeah.
Is that it then? Off.
You are?
Is that it? Finished?
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, but Tommy's saying the Nubius is the same with the direct light. They don't like it, and neither does the Buse plants.
So it sounds like we've got some interesting topics that Jeff and Jason have come up with. So.
Oh yeah, what are those? Let's see here.
Done?
I think I'm down at the bottom of the chat right now at the very end.
Yeah, there's nothing else. No one else.
Here's, let's see here.
Oh,
yeah.
Fair enough.
Where'd you, oh, there he is.
Sorry
Welcome
about
back.
that.
That's okay. I was like, I was scrolling through the chat here, and then I looked over at the screen. I'm like, oh, where'd Jason go?
Yeah, I clicked on the tab, and I'm trying to go back, and I exited out completely like an idiot. So sorry.
I've done that before. I've actually kicked myself out of my own stream before, believe it or not.
I can see how you could do that. I think I would do it a bunch too.
Yeah.
It's also ended the stream.
Yes. That little red button there, you don't want to press the little red button. You don't ever want to touch it. You have it so close to the chat, though. It's so easy to just kind of like.
So yeah, Jeff, you and Jason have got some interesting topics to talk about.
Yeah. So blackbeard algae. There's other stuff with the aquariums and stuff. We get a lot of you get a lot of questions on your channel, Jason. You had the question about the blackbeard algae. What was the other one?
Cycling tanks. How do I cycle tanks? I tend to just use. What I tend to do is just put sponge filters, extra ones, and extra tanks that have been running for a while, and let them run for a couple months. Then I'll set up a new tank, let it sit for a day, kill chlorine off, then I'll just chuck it in there, and then I'll start throwing fish that night. I don't know how you guys cycle tanks at this point, but what do you guys do?
I do the exact same thing. I take you around. I got sponge filters just sitting in the tanks. I put them in there, let them go for a couple months.
Yep.
And then what I'll do is I'll take the actual filter that's been working in the tank, the dirtier of the two, and I'll use that in the new tank. And then I'll plug in the new one that's been sitting in there into the existing tank. And take the one that's been actually running on the air with more, tends to have a little more gunk in it and a little more BB in it. So I'll do that.
So yeah, basically, like today, I've been setting up a new tank for my breeding paradiscus. So I've set up a hang on the back filter and basically used cycled K1 media, cycled sponges, brand new ceramic media, and then I dose it with a product called Back to Life, which is bacteria in a bottle. And I do that for about 7 days, and that cycles your tank. So, but normally I normally leave them. I normally leave the tank for about 3 months before I put any fish in there.
Wow.
I sometimes will use the bottle bacteria, but what I tend to do is I'll let it go for a week or two before I add any of it. But the reason being is that if the water's too fresh in there and you add the beneficial bacteria, if they don't create enough bio load for it to feed that bacteria, it's all going to die before it becomes good. So I'll wait a week, and then I'll start dosing a little bit of that. If I, depending on if I don't have a new sponge filter or an old sponge filter in there, I'll just do that. But I'll add it later because otherwise the bacteria you're putting in there is just going to starve before it does anything. It'll die before it even gets a chance to work. That's been my experience with it. I noticed I've always had a lot better success if I let it go a week or two and then add a little bit of that bottled bacteria.
I think the reason why I'm leaving it so long is because these discers, I don't want to shock them. That's the problem. And I mean, they're a couple of £100. These discers are, if you get them from the shop. And I got them for £60. So,
nice. What kind of discus did you get?
Got Stenkler.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some really nice ones. They've been cleaning the breeding cone, so fingers crossed.
You still have your pigeon blood too?
Yeah, I've still got pigeon bloods. Yeah, I've still got them too as well.
Nice.
Yep.
So that's four discus total you have now, right?
Four discus total, yeah.
Okay.
And then they're all going into the tank, and then obviously I'll get some like German blue rams to go in there as well with them. And then probably some stir-by cories just to keep the substrate moving. So.
Do you think that angelfish would be a little too rough to add with them?
I think. Well, saying that, Jack has angelfish with rams and discus. And I think if you get baby ones, I think they'll be a lot more better than to just stick in like 3 or 4 adults. They could be quite territorial then, but when they're babies, I think they'll be a bit more lenient towards other fish. How do you go on then, Jason?
I've noticed with discus and angels when I do mix them, it comes down more to the size of the tank. Like I've had breeding pair. I have a breeding pair right now of discus and a breeding pair of angels in 75, and the next are angelfish. I tend not to have any issues because there's a space. But if I just had like a breeding pair of angels in that tank and say 4 or 5 discus that weren't breeding, there would be so many issues as I'm bullying them. But once you have a like started pair, they kind of just claim their own territory where they don't have that aggression. It's just like, I'll stay over here, you stay over there. You come near me, I'll warn you, and then they just kind of stay in separate ways. But if you started crowding them in there, I definitely think you would start having a lot more issues with them. It's all about space. Like when I keep discus and angels in the bigger tank, the most I'll keep is like 5 or 6 in a 75. I want to avoid that whole aggression and possible ick outbreaks and fungus because they're going to get stressed out. You can do more, but then you're always taking a chance when it comes to bigger fish. Little fish, I'll cram in all day long. They're not going to stress each other out. But the bigger fish, hit or miss sometimes, I would say. But if you're doing a 75, you can easily mix them. If you're doing like only a 40-gallon, I definitely wouldn't mix them.
So you'd say their aggression levels are similar as the discus and the angelfish?
Yeah, my discus can be jerks.
Can they? Okay.
They can be jerks. They're little shit sometimes. Same with the angels. The angels can be little shits. I've had the discus come at me and bite me too. Same with the angelfish. I would say their temperament's pretty much almost identical for me and my experiences. It's not like a red devil or an Oscar, but they can be jerks. I'm not going to lie to you. But no, they get along just fine. I have no issues. They don't rip each other apart, which is nice. If we threw like an Oscar in there, all hell would break loose.
So how do you cycle your tanks then, Andrew?
Moment I don't need to. What I usually do is everything's cycled.
Yep.
When you have a new tank, what do you do?
I just take water from another one, and because I've got double filters in most of them, I just swap the filter sponges over.
They do the same thing as us.
Give them a bit of a swim out in there and let them fit, But generally, the tanks are up and running before I, for possibly about a month before I even put any fish in.
Yep. But I found that I could start a brand new tank, put, dechlorinate the water, put a used sponge filter in there, add a couple fish. I've never had any problem in the several years now.
I mean, as you know, Jeff, I don't have a problem with dechlorinating because I filter my water.
Yeah.
So then I just remineralize it.
Yep. So you're using our RO filter? Is that what you're using, or?
RO, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You use RO for all your fresh water?
Say again, Jason.
So you use RO for all your fresh water in total? Does everything go through RO for you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a lot of water.
I mean, it takes a time to fill up the tanks, but and then there is a mineral filter on there which will remineralize the water, but I will still obviously remineralize it anyway.
Now, do you use well water, or do you have like city water kind of deal? How does it work over there in the UK?
It's city water. So we've got chlorine in there.
Okay. So not far off that water.
I mean, the only decent thing I could say about Moray tap water is the pH comes out at 6.5.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So my tap water will come up.
I mean, our pH is pretty neutral. It's generally around about 7.
The common thing I find, though, is like my pH would run out like 7.5, and it'll drop down to like 5.5 the next day. Wow. And then it'll stabilize over a couple days. I don't know what the hell they put in that water, but it spikes it when it first comes out.
Mine comes out of 2.0, and then it'll drop, like you say, it'll drop down to 7 or less in a few days. There's no KH, there's no buffer in my water. It comes out, the general hardness comes out generally hard, but it doesn't have the buffering capacity to hold it there.
Yeah, no, it just dropped.
Yeah.
I mean, the filters I've got, I can bypass the RO side of it and just go through the resin filters and charcoal filter. That way, then I can fill the tanks a lot quicker. But I want to get rid of the chlorine, and obviously it goes through the RO side.
I just use a little bit of that Seachem Safe powder.
Yeah.
And just right from the hose, right from the sink.
Yeah, I just use stress coat. The only reason I do stress coat and don't do RO with everything is just because when I pull out my fish or sell them off to like a fish store or anything, I notice if you keep them like special requirements, they tend to get sick a lot quicker. Around my area, I've noticed, because they're not used to that water quality. They get shocked.
Yeah.
And they tend to go through an egg outbreak. Like, if you try to get mollies in our area, the way they keep mollies, when they ship them in, you will lose every single molly every shipment you get. That's why I don't keep mollies. Mollies wipe out like wildfire in the city. I don't know how they're keeping them at the warehouses. Yeah, as soon as we get mollies in, like at pet stores, we get, say, 75 mollies, we might have 5 that live the next day.
Wow.
They get shocked by the water quality. It's just, there's such big differences in a lot of the ways people keep water, so I just tend to keep my water cooler when I breed my fish, and when I trade them into the fish stores, I just use regular tap water. I do bigger water changes, so I use a higher chlorine concentration. So when I do sell them to the fish stores, they don't have issues where they're dying. And that's one thing he's always told me, like, dude, Jay, I think out of all the fish you told me, I probably had 10 die in total out of thousands. Because I heard stress train them before they even go out, that way they're used to everything. That's one thing I do differently, than try to make the fish more easier to go out than, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I know my black mollies are like tanks, though. I mean, you'd have to really try to kill them to make them die. I mean, they're just like I don't know, extremely hardy from what I see.
Yeah, come down here. You look at them all, and they'll die right in front of you.
Wow.
Yeah, no, they're horrible.
I think what the thing of it is they do require a higher pH, and I don't think a lot of people don't think about that, and they just use like regular aquarium gravel. And like you said, with our waters, the pH will drop.
Yep.
Most of my tanks, a lot of my tanks have a little bit of crushed coral in it or something, to keep it more steady. I haven't had a problem with them. I keep my pH generally, except for like in the Afisto tanks and the bettas, I have them with just regular substrate, inert, because they prefer a neutral pH or a little bit lower. So, but everything else gets either aragonite sand or crushed coral mixed with the gravel or whatever. And my mollies, they're flying, I got babies everywhere and breeding real well. But yeah, they're good mollies though. If I sent you some, you might stand a better chance with them, getting some good homebred ones.
Probably, yeah. I don't bother them just because they die so easily. Usually when you go see them in the pet store, they're just doing that weird swim.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I think they keep them at like such a high pH at the facilities and with brackish, so that when they do get shipped out, the pH drops to shock them. And the amount they crowd in a bag is ridiculous. You get like 12 to 18 mollies, and they get shipped in a bag. It's about yay big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they already got ammonia burn before they even hit the water.
I ship mine in breeder bags, and I usually do one. If they're a large molly, it'll be one per bag. And if they're small ones, little small ones, I'll put 2 to a breeder bag. And so I will, I'm not sure what fish you wanted from me, but at some point, I know I'm going to be sending you something from my fish room. I'll send you a trio.
Okay.
I'll send you a trio of black mollies.
Yeah, I'll try them out. I might have to get overrun and send you some back.
You end up with a lot of them.
Probably. I got extra tanks if need be.
You sell those to your LFS, they'll be nice and healthy. Like, these aren't like the mollies we get overseas. They always come in sick and dying all the time. Try these out.
Yeah, a lot of fish stores don't even order mollies anymore in my area.
Right,
because they're coming horrible.
They're not doing them right or something.
I don't know if they're shipping them wrong. Like, I've checked the water. I've tried to match everything in the water. It never worked out. Like I said, you're lucky 1 or 2 survived out of 18 of the batch.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I was the biggest shrink when I worked at Petco and Pet Supplies Plus with mollies.
Come to think of it, I only see mollies once in a great while at like Petco and PetSmart around here too.
Yeah, because they don't survive, so they stop ordering them.
Yep.
You just legit throw any money down the drain, then you get yelled at about your budget being high and your high shrink. Yeah, no, it's best to stick to even guppies can come in great or come in absolutely horrible depending on the vendor.
Well, that's why my black mollies have been so popular, I guess, because I get orders for them. I put them on Get-Gills and they sell out with it. They could be up for a couple of weeks and they're gone.
Yeah, no, it's hard to find a good quality, healthy line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that explains it, because I was like, why are my mollies selling like hotcakes all the time? And I got all this other stuff that I'm thinking that, oh God, this is going to sell great. I got these beautiful dragon bloods and all this, But African sticklers don't sell really well anymore. They used to be hot, but my mollies, they sell out on a consistent basis. They're like a bread and butter fish, from what I've noticed when I'm selling. It's constant, like a real steady flow out. I got breeding, replacing the numbers, and I got a steady flow going out when I put them.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that when the wild type bettas and stuff, when I finally get some cry from them, it'll be kind of similar. But
I just had a nightmare with my wild bettas today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the 60-gallon, I had them and crashed.
Oh my.
Yeah, I had a bunch of adults that were about pushing 4 inches. They were about 9 months old. I probably lost about 15, 16 of them.
Whoa.
Yeah, the whole thing just started crashing over the last couple of days. I did major water changes, hoping things would bounce out, but they didn't. And it's funny because I had a baby discus in there. Baby discus is perfectly fine. The wild bettas, I don't know why, just didn't handle the fight. But the discus is just swimming around, cruising like nothing ever happened.
Huh. That is real.
Yeah, so I'll be kicking the ball.
But you still have other adults that are still breeding, right?
I still have my breeding pair, but these are all a bunch of grow-ups I had. Like from the same batch the pair I sent you. The same grow-up from that batch. Yeah, I'll show you. I have them all in the bucket. I was so pissed off I haven't dumped them yet.
Oh, yeah, okay. You want to put him on the big screen, Arnold?
Hang on. How do you do that?
Here, let me see here. Go like this. Press this picture, say solo layout. And then we go like this. And do layout like this. And this. Oops.
Yep. So this is a 60-gallon I had everybody in. They were doing great, like weeks and weeks. And then bam. This is all the bettas I lost over the last, since this morning and this afternoon. There's a whole ton in here.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a bunch more, but they were like the biggest ones, so I was kind of really bummed out about it. Those other ones throwing out, but things when you wait forever for fun to grow out, and then all of a sudden it just starts all dying. Kind of depressing.
Oh, it is depressing, yeah. That's things we have to go through, with our tanks. Every once in a while, some things occur that we're not expecting. Some things happen.
Yep. Hard keeping fish, ready to lose fish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You got to be prepared to lose them.
Yeah. Can't get defeated either every time you lose fish either. A lot of people get defeated and want to get out of the hobby right away, I noticed.
Yeah.
I can't tell how many fish I've had die. Yeah.
You got to have a little bit of resilience to stick with it, Definitely.
Yeah, so that was my fun of the day.
So how do you go about, like you say, your tank crashed? What causes it to crash?
So what happened is that tank was a 60-gallon. I had 2 sponge filters in there. The tank can run for like 2 years. But I always say if that tank is minimally stocked. So, but I've been adding a lot more of those wild bettas in there because they were getting too aggressive in another tank I had. So I kept kind of grabbing them out and throwing them over there, throwing them. And eventually the bio load just didn't keep up and it just crashed. That was pretty much what happened to that 60-gallon. Because I was having so much aggression issues, I had to separate them and I had nowhere else to put them because they are such bad jumpers that I don't keep lids about half my tank. There's only a few tanks I keep the water real low on. So I throw them in there. Eventually it just caught up and bam. But the funny thing was, like, the discus was perfectly fine eating and everything, and the bettas are just like floating around them. I'm like, I thought you were the sensitive fish. Yeah, so discus are as sensitive as you think.
I must admit, my discus, my pigeon blood, they've been raised up in a pH of 8.
Okay.
So them ones are quite hardy, but the Stenkler ones, I think they were in about 7 to 7.5, so they're a bit more susceptible to change.
Yeah.
So Andrew, have you ever had a tank crash?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Huh?
I have.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what. Right at the beginning, and the only reason that I had it crash was we'd gone away and had an automatic feeder on it, and it basically the food had congealed at the end of the dispenser, and then you just dropped the whole lot in the tank. And when we came back, we had a lot of fatalities.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason. That's the only time that we've had a crash.
Okay.
That was a long time ago.
Well, I would touch some wood, but I haven't had a tank crash yet.
Yeah.
But I'll probably jinx that now, haven't I?
Probably. I've had so many crashes over the years.
Well, this is a family show, so be careful about touching your wood, okay?
Oh, for crying out loud.
Well, we won't discuss what you were saying earlier, Jeff. Before we came on the screen.
Yeah. Yeah, we aren't. Right, carry on with the topics.
Yes. Yes.
So, yeah, a bit of a push for me is this one. But I have promised Jeff that he can have pizza next week if I get to 600 subs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Pizza on the Saturday.
Yes. So everybody drop in there so me and Arnold can get free pizza next Saturday. It's free to you, not free to Arnold. It's not free to Andrew. You'll be paying.
Although I haven't. Since I last spoke to you, I did get 2 subs while I was streaming, and I've lost one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm down to 5, 6, 7.
Craig is just now saying, "Put your wood away."
God. Now look what you started, Jeff.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Ah.
We can't say it, can we? What the comment was before the stream?
What is the top 10 fish for a 65-gallon tank? Wow, I happen to have a 65-gallon.
How you doing, Cage? You alright?
Oh,
Right? Mine's full of fire mouths and convicts at the moment. My 65-gallon. They're getting along great. They don't fight one bit.
So, what would be your top 10 fish then?
For a 65-gallon?
Yeah.
Oh, you could do a
Thanks,
lot.
Arnold.
That would be like the ultimate angelfish tank, in my opinion, because it's 2 feet tall and it's 3 feet long, 18 inches wide. Yeah, a really good breeding tank for angelfish. Maybe even discus.
Mm.
The fire mounts do well.
Would you consider getting discus then?
For me?
Yeah.
Hey, I've been thinking about it. After seeing you guys having such good success, I might try it sometime.
Mm.
I'm sure I will at some point. I've always been afraid because of the high temperature they require.
Take care, Dave.
But I could try it sometime.
Mm.
Yeah. But I'd get them. When I get them, they're not going to be to get views. They're going to be because I want to breed them. I'm not just going to go buy a bunch of little discus and put in my tank just to have them just to make a video. I wouldn't do that, but I would, I'd get them to try and raise them up and breed them and share them out with other hobbyists or whatever, try and sell them. But that's what I would do.
Yeah. I wouldn't be scared of getting discus because a lot of them are bred in hard water now. So they are fairly, hardy.
Yeah, I like that. I like that part of it.
It would be different. It would be different if you got wild caught, because they would be like pH of 6 or 6.5. But yeah, like I said, my pigeon bloods, they're in a pH of 8, so they seem to be doing fine.
Do you think they would be able to breed in that type of pH?
Well, it all depends on the because I think, if I'm right in saying, if there's a lot of calcium in the water, the eggs will get calcified.
Yep.
So
you gotta be below 100 on TDS.
Yeah, so you have to get your TDS spot on, like Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was only able to breed discus at below 100 TDS. I aimed for this between 40 to 75 on TDS, and had a much higher success hatch rate. If I got over 100, I could get like 2 to 3 hatch out, but it wouldn't be the numbers I was getting in TDS water. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Rebecca's saying in the chat that the wild discus vary a lot depending on the catch location.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Another thing about wild discus too is they got to be quarantined, and a lot of times bigger ones don't take well to fish tanks, depending on the size of the discus you're getting.
Yeah, definitely.
What type of decor do you have in with your discus, Arnold?
Dechlorinator.
Decor. What type of decor? What type of substrate? What type of rocks?
What?
Now, Jason. At the minute, they're bare bottom because they're in quarantine. So,
all right, I'm going to ask a real technical question here. Your water comes out of the tap at 6.5. How did it get to 8?
I haven't got a clue on that.
That's what I'm wondering, because
don't even ask me about that one, because even I can't work that out.
I was just like thinking to myself. Now, I was wondering about that because I know mine will come out at 8, 8.2, but then it'll go down to about 7.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little bit less even. And like, and then I found out that I took the KH and it's almost nothing in it.
Yeah, it's weird because like my Malawi tank, that's got rocks in there which buffers the pH, so it keeps it up. It's meant to keep it up. But I tested it the other day, and it's only 7.0.
Oh, wow.
So there's...
The Malawi tank?
Yeah, the Malawi tank, yeah. It's weird, because a lot, I test my water coming out the tap, 6.5, put it into my tanks, and it will go between 7 and 8 when putting them in the tank.
So pH also fluctuates during the day, too.
Yeah.
I think in the morning it's supposed to be lower and nighttime it's higher. I think that's how it swaps off during the day.
Oh.
Because I learned that with salt water when I kept the reef tank. I'm like, why is my pH this low? Why is it this low? Then I learned that pH actually varies throughout the day. And also depends on how much oxygen is able to get in the tank too. If you have a tight lid on there, that will also drop the pH.
That's why. Okay, so CO2 will lower the pH, won't it?
What is it?
CO2 will lower the pH a bit, won't it?
Yeah, it would.
Well, if you have a lot of fish in there, if it's a heavily stocked tank, there's going to be a lot of natural CO2 from the fish when the gills, when they expel the CO2 from their gills while they're breathing. If it's a heavily stocked tank, that'll naturally lower the pH down. And so a heavily stocked tank will be a lower pH. Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks, Cage. Yeah, that's interesting. That is.
Yeah. So then when the fish are breathing, that naturally puts the CO2 in the water. So that's why I don't like to use CO2. I wouldn't want to use any CO2 injection because my tanks are generally fairly well sealed.
And that's another reason I've had tank crashes, because the pH drops so low.
Yeah.
I had a tank of like 200 bettas and I lost them all because the pH dropped below 5 one day. Wow. I'm like sitting there trying to scratch in my head, then I tested the pH and I couldn't even read it. It was so low.
You might want to get like a bag of crushed coral and just put it in the corner. That'll help keep it buffered a bit, and it won't allow it to crash down so far that it will kill them. It'll keep it in a safe zone.
Yeah, that's another lesson I learned.
Yeah. I've had the pHs crash in the past, and I've done a lot of research on that. When I started using the crushed coral and the aragonite sand in a lot of my tanks, and just like in my shrimp tank over here, I got a little bag over in the corner of just maybe about a half a bag full, and they're just flying. They're doing great. Keep some.
That is very interesting, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to get myself a TDS pen, I think.
Yeah, it's worth it to have one.
Or add some more crushed coral to that tank as well. It would probably help also.
Yeah.
Or baking soda. Baking soda is another buffer.
Yeah.
I've used baking soda in the past when I would drop pH. I would dose weekly with baking soda.
Okay.
Yeah, people come over like, why do you have baking soda? They're like, you run a drug business? I'm like, no, it's for the fish.
So Craig's saying that you could hide it in the filter as well. So.
You can. Yep. Yeah. You put like one of those little zipper bags and put it in your filter, and as it running through, it'll keep the pH where it needs to be more. But if you like me, I'm running sponge filters. I'll put a little zip bag and I'll put it behind the sponge filter, or in the corner or something. doesn't.
Right, so Cage has got a question for us. What would be the best way for a guy to get into salt water, given how expensive it is?
Dump your wife, sell your furniture, and buy a tank.
There you go, sorted.
And then you got to flush a couple $100 bills down the drain. If you can do that, then you can have a saltwater tank, a reef tank. If you want to do basic saltwater fish, you can do that all day. But if you want a reef tank, you better start flushing money already and get used to it.
Hi, Gil.
Howdy, Gil. Howdy, Gil.
Hello?
I mean, it could be, like I say, it could be as expensive or as cheap as you want it to be.
It's always going to be more expensive than freshwater, though.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, it'll be more expensive.
Yeah, but once it's up and running, it's I find it a lot less maintenance than a freshwater tank.
Yeah, once that tank gets about a year of age, it kind of takes care of itself once you got an ecosystem going. But it's just that initial year of getting that tank mature, it's just an up and down roller coaster, I've learned. Because you're going to have pH swings, pH swings, calcium swings, alkalinity drops, and it's a roller coaster. So you get to that right year where it's stable.
Mm-hmm.
But no, just do your research and don't have a nano tank. Get something big. Get a bigger tank. They're better. They're easier to look after. The bigger the tank, the better.
It also depends what you want to do. If you just want to do fish, you can do smaller tanks. But if you want to do the reefs, like coral, you're better off going bigger.
Yeah.
You got more room to make mistakes. On a smaller tank, it's so easy to make a mistake and wipe out your whole system. That's why they say go bigger. But if you're doing fish, you can do a 20-gallon pair of clowns without a problem. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to do a 20-gallon stock with $500 worth of coral, you're going to have issues if you don't know what you're doing. Because your magnesium and alkalinity get stocked up so quick and wiped out, the tank is going to bail out. Our coral will bail out in no time.
If I was to have a saltwater tank, of course, I wouldn't mind trying the seahorses, but I'd like to get the saltwater crustaceans. A lot of the different types of shrimp they have, little crabs, little decorative crabs they got.
Sexy shrimp are good.
Yeah.
I heard they love wood.
You said what? What was that?
I heard they love the wood, the sexy shrimp.
Oh.
Oh my God.
See what you did, Arnold? See what you did. Oh my goodness.
Never mind.
He says, and Craig is saying it seems like a lot of work in the price of this. Generally, the fish are generally more expensive.
Let's just say I got a marine tank. I got a 450 litre tank, second hand for 120 quid with a sum. And then I got all the equipment for less than 100 quid, second hand. And then I got coral, live rock, substrate, fish, about 8 to 10 fish for about 220 quid.
Is that normal? Is that the normal price for them, or is that a really deal? That's cheap. Okay. How much would it cost to get all that stuff? Say if somebody was just starting out with they didn't have that good of a deal. How much would all that stuff cost?
Well, you're looking like for a marine tank, you're looking nearly a few hundred. Well, I'd say about 500-600 quid would be would be the cheapest.
And it also comes down to what you want to do too. I feel like if you just want to do fish only, it's cheaper.
Yeah,
but if you want to do coral, that's where the lights come into play, and the lights get expensive, and you're going to want to do dosing, and that's when the bill just flies through the roof.
I must admit, my marine tank, it had 17 plugs. My marine tank did. I had 17 plugs just for one tank.
Plugs?
Yeah, plugs, like
power cords?
Like equipment. Yeah, power cords, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This entire center section here of all these tanks, there's the 40, you got 6 20 gallons and a 10 gallon at the end. and it runs on most of them. I still got 1 or 2 plugs left over on the 16 plug for all those tanks.
Yeah, no, when I moved, I got rid of my saltwater because I didn't have the space to do it, and I didn't want an electricity bill like I was at the other house. Like Arnold said, I think I had about 12, 14 plugs going off my saltwater tank. It was just, the saltwater tank alone, I think, cost me like almost $50 a month to run it.
Oh, wow. Our electric bill here is killer. It's like $265, $270 a month.
Yeah, no, that was my biggest bill, was my saltwater. Because you got protein skimmers running, you got the lights running, you got extra filtration running, then you got all these extra crap running in you. So it was just so many different things I had running that it just ran my bill up to no time.
Then you get the heaters, or I know my big air pump's only 60 watts, but I'm thinking the heaters are what cost me the most in my power.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I switched to mainly goldfish. Then you don't have to worry about the heaters.
I was thinking about doing goldfish. You have any advice?
I
want to get into Orlando.
Yeah, go ahead. This is your area, Andrew. I mean, you're a goldfish person. What do you do?
Sorry, Ed, what was the question of Jason?
So I'm thinking about getting into goldfish, especially Orandas. What kind of advice would you give me about them, and anything special I should know about keeping goldfish?
With goldfish, basically, it's clean water. Keep the water as clean as you can. But you will have Orandas. You'll find that sometimes they'll go belly up, and with blackmores, so that you will have a lot of internal issues. I mean, Rebecca, the freshwater, I can never pronounce the second bit, but yeah, just keep that water clean. I mean, the pH and everything, they will tolerate quite a bit. But you will find that you'll need to do a lot of water changes with them. See, if you're keeping these like guppies, the smaller fish, but when with the Orandas and everything, and the thing is, if you want them to grow, then give them water changes.
Yep.
And feed them well. Good food as well.
Yeah, all the fish, like koi and goldfish, they are really big eaters in that. Like I think a high protein diet, is that what they like the most, or is it more of a vegetarian diet?
Craig is saying in chat, don't let Craig near goldfish. That's my advice. Yeah, he did buy some goldfish a couple of years ago, and unfortunately, they didn't survive.
The Great Ocean Disaster said goldfish bioload is huge. Yeah.
It is. They're bigger fish. Basically, because they're bigger fish.
Yeah. And Rebecca's saying goldfish are an art, I believe, for those with when's reducing that protein. Okay.
I mean, Rebecca's after the telescope variety at the moment.
Well, there's the big bulbicide one, huh? Or do they have, which ones have like the ballast balloons on the top of their heads? Or kind of like little.
There's the Orandas.
The Orandas, also.
Because they can get so big that they will come down and cover the eyes, and basically they become. I can't see because of them.
The only thing about those type of goldfish that I personally don't like is that they're so what I'm looking for, chunky. They kind of just like wiggle through the water. They're just like, it seems like they have a lot of energy just to wiggle through the water to get to the food. I mean, have you ever noticed that? They're just kind of like shaking a little bit, and they're just kind of moving really slow.
Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, like that. They kind of wiggle through the water.
I mean, people say don't keep them. I mean, we had one with Dyson that we lost while we were away in Rhodes. and they were in Blackmores that were in with a koi. And believe me, those Blackmores knew where the food was. They made sure they got their food.
Oh.
Because the Blackmores would drop down and go to the bottom, and the koi would go upwards. So the koi was looking round on the water's surface, but the Blackmores were going down where the food was sinking.
I wouldn't mind having like the regular cod or the sarasa goldfish. More of the slender.
I mean, it's not just goldfish that I'm trying to sort of get into. It's also them white cloud minnows where I must have just all females or all males, because they're not doing anything. Over the time, we have seen one tiny fry.
Okay.
And the next day, it had gone.
I've never tried the white cloud.
We do have some white cloud minnows. We've also mainly got golden white clouds.
Oh, nice.
And those are nice. Because they've got the golden body and a red tail.
Yep.
So yeah, those are quite a nice fish, and they will take quite a bit of in the ponds in the mountains. They get to a point where they don't drain, so they will take almost whatever you throw at them, they'll survive it. Basically, they're quite hardy.
I've had great luck breeding them. I started, I think, with 4 of them, before I had a couple hundred. White clouds, they exploded. I couldn't believe how fast they bred.
I have never ever been able to. I've got a female. I have a female who's as fat as anything.
Yep.
I've got the plants in the bottom. I've got moss in the bottom. Never ever. I'm gonna feed them. It's not like they're going hungry and then eating the fry.
So the way I bred them was I used like a Tupperware container that's probably about like 6x4, and I put some rocks and I fill it with moss. Then I let it sit there for 2 days. I'd pack it with moss, let it sit there 2 days, throw it in another tank, and then within about 3 days I'd have about 50 fry coming around.
Something like this.
You got to pull the moss and the eggs out. Exactly. Something like that. Pack it with moss. Let them breed inside of it. Pull that out. Throw it in like a 10-gallon and let them hatch out. Before you know, you'll be over a white cloud.
I was thinking about putting moss like on top of this, right? And then they would drop it down and then just take this whole thing right out.
Yeah.
You could do that too, right?
Yes,
yeah, I've done with that.
And I've done that with galaxies, white clouds, glow lights, tiger barbs, anything. I just put down the moss and just pull it out the next day. And then before you know, you'll have tons of eggs fry.
I want to try this with my cherry barbs and see if I can get some fry out of them.
Yes, that'll definitely work. Prevent them from going in there, going through it and eating it too.
Yep.
Now, do you breed goldfish too, Andrew, or do you just keep the goldfish?
I'm trying to. I've mainly got the Blackmores.
Okay.
Because yet they haven't. They bred last year, but they haven't. I lost the female. No, I didn't lose the female. I lost the male last year. Not quite sure what he did, but he ended up with a bent spine, so I'm not quite sure whether he broke the spine through chasing the female. Because they can get quite aggressive when mating. And he just couldn't float properly and tried everything. And in the end, it was a case of just putting him to sleep. So I have some young ones, but I'm not in a rush to breed them because sometimes it's better to let them get a little bit older before you do let them breed.
So you breed them naturally.
I'm just letting them do what they want. But it's mainly Blackmores that I'm breeding. I mean, the ones that I had last year, I've probably had hundreds. and I've probably got about 8 left. And that's not through sales, that's having to sort of not the quality.
Did you have a lot of defective ones and like deformed ones?
Yeah, we've some that were, once they got to a certain point, floated upside down, tails that were deformed. I mean, to be honest, we do have one that we kept, and we're calling it Wonky. And it's got a single tail, but the single tail is at an angle. It's not straight up, and it's at an angle. And we have kept that one, but we won't let it breed with anybody. That one's just sort of like one that we'll keep. Who have we got? Aquatic Fanatics.
Yeah, Aquatic K is in the chat. Hello, man.
So Keith, hello Jeff, is Jason from 5 Star Bettas.
Yes. He is the gentleman that sent me the epistogrammas and the wild type bettas and what stuff. Trying to think of it all now. But it was, which ones?
The multis, right? It was the multis, right?
Yes, the multis. Oh, that's, I got lots of little babies from them guys. They've bred already, and I probably have 7 or 8 little fry up there hanging out in shells. And that's the most I've ever seen from one pair. Usually only see like 2 or 3 pop out of the shell, but I've had like 7 or 8 of those, like a little swarm. They're already starting to swarm around the shell a little bit. I got black mollies in the tank. They don't come anywhere near them. And I've had black mollies with my shellies ever since day 1 in my other tank, and I got a bunch in there. I started out with 4, and I got probably about maybe 40 of them in there now. That's a lot for a 10-gallon tank.
It is.
But they're doing great. Oh yeah, they've been there. They've been hovering around that same area for, I don't know, maybe a year now. Haven't bought that many. They don't. It's like they know not to breed when there's so many in there. They just stop. Now, if I was put them in a bigger tank, I bet they'd go gangbusters all over again.
Oh yeah.
So what breeding projects have you got happening at the moment then, Jason?
So I got some glow lights breeding. I picked up a breeding pair of red devils.
Ooh.
We were at the fish store. They're probably 3 inches, and they already had a bunch of fry, so I grabbed them. I just set up a 70-gallon little pond outside. I put lilies in it, like aquatic lilies, and I want to put something out there to keep the mosquitoes, so I don't have mosquito problems. So I bought them, so I go out there. But they're breeding, so I'm sure I'll have a bunch more fry soon from them. I got the Epistos, the double red, triple red breeding, the orange flash. Tons of the guppies right now. What guppies? I'm trying to make my own line of guppies going. We got the wild betas, koi betas. There's all different things going around. Angelfish. Yeah.
You sent me that list the other day on Messenger. I was looking at it, my jaw dropped. I was like, I was reading it, and I kept going like this, going down the list. Lots of stuff.
Yeah, I have too many fish. Too many projects. I get too excited and I try to do too many things at once. So sometimes I just have extra fish stocked in extra tanks. And, when space opens up, I'll try to breed them. Like right now, I just moved some fish around to set up a pair of pro gouramis to breed. I've been growing them up for a long time. So now I finally got them in a 20-gallon. They seem interested. Hopefully they spawn this time because the female's kind of lazy. So we'll see.
I love gouramis. I got paradise. I'm going to try and maybe breed the paradise fish.
Nice.
They're pretty cool.
The next thing I want to breed, though, would be roseline sharks.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. I know Chris Stubbs would be interested in that. He's a big barb guy. He wants to get those roselines.
Yeah, from what I understand, nobody can breed them in the captivity. I have a pair that spawn all the time. I just got to figure out how to collect the eggs. They're my 75 gallons.
Now, are they scatterers too?
Yeah. They said that there's supposed to be some kind of moon cycle. I read into it about them, the way they breed, but I noticed if I feed them heavy every night, they're spawning. in my 75 gallons. They're going at it all night.
Wow.
Yeah, so I figure out how to get the eggs out. But I've tried to put them in a smaller tank. They wouldn't breed for me. I think they just got too stressed out. They prefer the bigger space. That's why probably people can't really breed them in captivity, because they're not putting them in big enough tanks. Because I think the big meal is probably almost like 7 inches. It's huge.
Jeff Kane is saying, I have a similar problem, Jason. Says, definitely too many fish and not enough tanks. That's right.
Yep.
I know the feeling. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, how do you go about doing breeding setups for your goldfish?
Generally, I've got a pair, or I'll put a male and female together, and basically just leave them do it. Maybe 2 pairs in a tank. But the black moors that I had last year, it was 2 females and a male. What are you laughing at?
What cage is put?
They go at it all night. LM, let my ass off.
It was about them roseline sharks. I think that's what.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was just looking. It's one of the other fish that I'm looking at breeding is the 3-spine stickleback.
Oh.
Never heard of it.
That was the fish I was telling you that I got in the when I used to go fishing with minnows.
Yeah.
And when I'd buy minnows for, like, back when I had my big fish, I'd go buy minnows to feed them instead of goldfish from the pet store. And we get the little sticklebacks, and I'd always have to take those out because they would get stuck in the fish's throat if we put them in by accident. So I had to check them out. But they're interesting little fish. They really are.
Yeah, I was tempted to grab some from the wild, but they tend to be full of worms.
Person said they hand spawn their goldfish. Now,
I'll be honest, Empire. Jeffy's asking, Andrew, is that type of nest builder? To be honest, I honestly don't know. It's a fish that I've sort of like looked at in getting, but I haven't looked at its requirements and the breeding side of it. I mean, if you remember, Jeff, when I took the big tank in the living room down while we decorated, and then I was saying to you that I was looking at possibly doing that into like a freshwater side with sticklebacks, and that was going back probably about 18 months ago. But
that would be a fun tank.
You know, things change, and obviously I've now got the goldfish in it.
I've always wanted a native fish tank, getting native fish from our local wild here. I already have a pumpkin seed sunfish, but I want to get like a big tank, like an 8-footer, like a 240 gallon, something like that. Get a few different types of game fish in there. I think that'd be a lot of fun. For a lot of the native minnows and stuff.
What sort of fish do you have, Arnold, near you? Because you're like in an estuary.
To be honest, I actually don't really know.
Right.
what we have, but I suppose that'd just be like your common species, I would have thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure because I'm more, like there's Tommy, there's a few other people who like collect all the native species in tanks and all that. Yeah. But to me, it's just it's not really my thing, really. But to be honest, I've never been fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really know a lot about it. you know, all the different native species, to be fair. No one likes to comment on that one. So if I get it all wrong.
So Jeff is saying that obviously what he'd read about with the three-spine sticklebacks is there were nest spawners.
Oh.
I know that the rosy red minnows are a nest spawner too. They kind of like they kind of guard their little patch of eggs, kind of like a cichlid almost.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten any fry from them yet. I've seen them actually defend their areas a little bit. My rosy reds, and they're getting pretty good size now. They're probably good 3 inches long now. Doing pretty well.
So I take it, Jeff, you can't wait to breed your bettas.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to it. You know, as an experience to do it. And as soon as I get my other tank set up, which I've been saying that for about how long now? Months?
Yeah.
But it's going to happen. And then I'm gonna do the same type. I've got like some glass jars. I'm gonna have one of the bottoms cut on it, have it set right in the tank to put the female in, and then put the male in. And when they, you know, after I get them conditioned up, I'll do that. But right now they're in the tank together. They've been there since I got them from Jason. He doesn't pester much. Every once in a while he'll kind of swim up to her and fan his fins out, you know, trying to entice her.
Yeah.
But there's so many antlers and stuff in that tank that there's never been any bubble nests made yet.
Yeah, the water's gonna be still for them to breed.
It's got to be what?
Still, you need still water.
Yeah, I got two sponge filters in there, and that's way too much for this tank. I'd have to have like a real small sponge filter running very slow in the corner.
Yeah, when I breed them, I don't put a filter in there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I breed them in a 5-gallon quarter filled, no sponge filter. Once they have fry that hatch out, within like 2 weeks after, I'll put a sponge filter.
Oh.
But I have it on a slow trickle, then I'll leave them in there for about a month and a half, and they go into 20 gallons.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can breed them in a little container. You don't need it on special.
All right.
Yeah, no, I'd breed them while they're young. If you wait too long, the male gets lazy. They don't breed as well.
I better get busy with it then and get them going while they're in their prime, you know.
Yep. Or else you miss out.
Yeah, I don't want to miss out. Yeah, definitely. Well, I can just get like one of those big Tupperware things and do it that way probably. Or I got 5-gallon buckets I can use even.
Yeah, you do it anything. And I don't even separate the females. I just throw them right in.
Oh, just put them right in the bucket. Okay.
I just throw them right together. I'll put like something in there for her to hide behind, but majority of the time I don't have no issues with the aggression. The one thing I've learned about breeding bettas is you got to put the same temperament together. If you put like a lazy female that's in a high aggressive male, he'll beat the crap out of her. You put a high aggressive female with a lazy male, she'll kill him. I've had that happen. So one thing I learned is they got to be on the same temperaments when you do breed them.
Okay.
And a shy male will not breed. He's too scared.
Yeah. He doesn't seem too shy. She may be a little bit shyer than him, but, you know, he's a little bit bigger than her, so. But they're both looking great. They both look great, though.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to try that then. Now, you use a heater in your container, or do you use room temperature?
Yeah, you need a heater. You got to be at least 80 degrees to have a good hatch rate.
Okay. All right.
I bred them in colder water, but they didn't do well. I experimented with colder, warmer, lower pHs and higher pHs, and I found with a lower pH, I was tending to get more female.
Okay. Luckily, I got some extra heaters. I can just put like a little 50 watt and I can try them in a 5-gallon bucket. I got a nice weight.
That's fine. Yeah, 50 watts is all I ever use when I breed them. And like I said, I breed them with 5 gallons with like 3 inches of water. Nothing special.
No, years ago, I only used to use white buckets for my fish because I can see them a lot better, and they're so hard to find. And when you find them, they're so expensive. But I did manage to get a couple new ones. I'm thinking I might try to breed them in one of my white buckets. That way, I can see the the bubble nest at the top better than the fry and whatnot.
Yeah, I prefer the 5-gallon because you can see the fry on the sides from the side view. So you can see when they're free swimming. It's kind of hard to see when they're free swimming from above because they hatch out so tiny.
Yep. I got
them and like killifish. Yeah, like killifish babies are like almost the same size in my opinion when they hatch out compared to bettas.
Oh wow!
And killifish are tiny when they hatch out.
And you can do the killifish the same way, right? The 5-gallon bucket. I mean, if you wanted to pull the mop out and put them into a 5-gallon bucket, you could do it the same way, couldn't you?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem.
Okay.
My buddy breeds the killifish in shoe bins.
Oh wow!
Yeah, nothing special.
Wow.
I think I've just been worrying too much. I've been thinking I got to have another tank set up. I got to have this and that, and I got to have everything in place before I even think about doing it.
No, the biggest thing is just making sure you have space to fry when they grow out.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't stress the other stuff.
Okay.
I had to get my charger. My phone kept dying.
Oh, that's what I had last week, and I was plugged in throughout our first stream, and then I took it off the charger for this one. It's full. I got 100% on my phone.
Yeah, I started at like 67% and just drained real quick in an hour.
It doesn't take long when you're streaming. It goes. It seems to use a lot of power for some reason.
Yeah, just blew right through it.
It goes quick.
So what's your next big breeding project, Arnold?
Discus.
Yeah, you've had success with them in the past, right?
No, this would be the first time I've bred discus.
Okay.
I've bred better fish. I've bred better fish. Acaras. I've bred acaras. Yeah.
The biggest challenge I found with discus was getting the parents to attach to the babies. I mean, the babies to attach to the parents. That was my biggest issue I had. I had to constantly keep moving the lighting so it was darker, so they would go towards the parents. I had to keep tricking them. If I had the light like all the way across, the fry just kept going to the top of the water.
Okay.
They wouldn't attach. It took me almost like 30 spawns before I successfully bred them, like got the fry to grow out.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Cinders. So they follow the light? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, they go by lighting. So I talked to this other kid. He worked for like a school and they bred tons of discus. And so wild discus are more darker, so the babies are attracted to darkness.
Oh.
A lot of the discus we keep are brighter, so the fish aren't attracted to what we said. And that's why I was having that issue.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. So that was one thing I learned. Because I kept having them all at the top of the water and they would never attach to the parents. So what I started doing was moving the lights down low. And when I would put the lights down low, the fish would go down lower.
Melvin's in the building.
Melvin.
Oh no.
Interesting. Oh no. What, Andrew? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So I bet you can't wait to breed your bettas now, Jeff. Now you can use
yeah.
small bucket.
I got heaters. I got plenty of buckets. I'm going to maybe try and get it set up and get them going. Throw an Indian almond leaf in there, and
so hopefully by the next AA meeting, you should have them in a bucket and hopefully breeding.
maybe. Maybe. We'll try. We'll try and get it going. Yeah, we'll try and get that.
And if you do get fry, you better get your beta cups ready because you're going to go through a lot of jars to get a lot of males.
I got a bunch of really nice glass coffee jars that I drink. I got probably 50, 60 of them.
Yeah, that's what all this is. These are just jars for betas when I breed them.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I have a beta now, but I got that off Arnold. But I mean, I've got it in a tank with guppies, and it's quite happy.
Oh yeah.
But I just cannot understand why everybody just keeps them in jars, and tiny jars.
Adam.
Well, the stores will sell them in those little plastic tubs, the little cups.
Yeah.
No, they should. I don't believe. I mean, they should be in at least a 2-gallon tank. At least I think a
30
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, it comes down to selling.
At least
like,
a 5-gallon tank.
So, like, when I worked at the pet store, we would sell about 70 to 80 bettas a week.
Yeah.
That's why they were in little containers, because we would sell so many. Majority of people are cheap, and that's why they shove them in the little containers. They don't want to spend the money. That was my biggest thing. Is people like, oh, I can just put it in this vase. I'm like, you can, but I'm like, you're going to be happy living in a closet? They're like, no. I'm like, how do you think that fish feels?
Yeah.
Like, how would you like to poop and turn around and sniff it right over? like, that's how the poor fish is living.
Yeah, to put it in perspective, that would be pretty bad.
But my favorite one was like, people don't want to do water changes. Like, a lot of new people don't want to do water changes. They're like, oh, my fish keep dying. I'm like, have we done a water change? They're like, no. I'm like, why? I'm like, all right. I'm like, I don't want you to flush your home toilet for the next month and tell me how it looks. Just top it off.
Yeah.
They're like, that'd be disgusting. I'm like, that's your poor fish. That's what it's living in. They're like, oh, I feel horrible now. I'm like, you should.
Yeah, it's a lot of people who keep fish but aren't prepared to
maintain them.
Do the maintenance.
Yep.
I mean,
there's
like
a bit of a fine line there, though, too. There's a little bit of a fine line. I mean, I know back when I used to go, I was full bore. I would hit the maintenance really, really hard every week. I mean, hard. I'd go through and I'd do, big water changes. I'd vacuum the gravel every single time, clean the filters out every single time. You know what? And I had, it was okay. But when I stopped and did water changes every 2 weeks in a smaller amount, it was a smaller amount of water change. And I would only vacuum like every other week or maybe every 3 weeks. Everything starts booming. And it seemed like, it was like, okay, it's good to do the maintenance, but you don't want to do too much maintenance.
Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
It's Jason, and why would he come on the show?
Is that Jimmy P?
Yeah.
What happened to you? Did he stream this morning?
I cancelled it.
He cancelled it?
Yeah, I thought I told
Jimmy,
you.
Jimmy, why did you cancel your stream?
He's on next week. He had too much personal business going on.
Oh, oh, trust me, I understand that. I absolutely understand that.
Yeah, this is Jason from 5 Star Bettas. He is the man to talk about bettas, angelfish, you name it.
And he breeds CPDs and a whole bunch of other things too. I mean, he's showed me how to breed CPDs, and it's like, wow.
And the reason I'm here is because Jeff promised me free wood if I came on the show.
Well, last week I was promising free beer, but I drank it all.
We got free pizza now, so we got to get how many more subscriptions do we need?
Oh, keep losing them, Jeff.
Let's see here. I know that if Andrew gets a certain amount of subs, me and Arnold will be eating free pizza next week.
I never said anything about Arnold, just you.
Wait a minute. Didn't he say? I thought he said both of us. Oh, just
no,
me.
just kidding.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, anyway, let's get those let's get those subs rolling here, guys.
I'll send Arnold a Mars bar.
Oh, cheers.
Wait a second now.
Even those are bloody expensive now.
Oh God, here we go.
Here we go.
The stream took a different turning now.
Yeah.
Food. What pays?
Jeff King.
Well, Jeff Kane was saying Jeff has given Jason his wood.
Yep.
Okay.
All of it.
Oh.
No,
There's no wood in this fish room. I tell you that right now.
Oh, man.
But yep. Whoops.
yeah.
How many people do we have on the live stream right now?
21.
There's 21 watching.
21. I don't know.
21. This show descended quickly, Jimmy P says. Well, look at Jimmy. You show up and everybody starts talking about wood. What's going on, man? He just pops into the chat and all of a sudden it switches to wood.
Oh my God.
I would never instigate anything, Arnold, Jeff Kane says.
You didn't say nothing.
Nothing.
Is there any other topics that you and Jason had?
Other than that, I basically just what's going on in the fish rooms and whatnot. Like I said, I got a lot of stuff breeding right now, and I want to get other breeding. I want like my pistos. They're getting real close. I noticed the male's been really displaying a lot for the female a lot.
All right, good.
And I had them. They did. I believe they did spawn in my little hut.
Yep.
Then one of the bristle nose went in there. It's the bigger. It's the male, and he powered in there and took it over.
Yeah, he ate all the eggs. You gotta kick him out.
Yeah, I got to get him out of there.
Yeah, get him out of there. You want to touch on about the auction?
Oh yes, let's do that for a moment. Yeah, I know that everybody out there, you're familiar with Skipper's aquatic auction. We got homebred fish and all that. Well, we're thinking about maybe doing one. Well, we probably will be doing one in August. And I've been watching Skippers, and I go in there, and I've never bid anything yet, but or put anything up for bid. But I thought, what, maybe we should try that in August because it'll be a good time. The temperatures are starting to go down a little bit for shipping. Get stuff out before Christmas. You get some people like to breed fish like us. It's a good way to, share your fish out into the hobbies. And I was also thinking, we get a lot of friends in the UK, close friends, and in Australia, that we can get a few people together and we can have like a guest from each country come in with their fish that they want to do, and we just have like a little lineup for each country, and maybe have like 3 lots for each country. So in other words, we go like America, and somebody has some like a lot of fish they want to put up for auction. We'll go through that, and then we'll go to the next country like UK, and then to Australia, and then just go through the whole list. I don't know. It's just some planning to do, but I think that people who breed fish and they want to make a little bit of money to help support their hobby, I think it's a great idea. So everybody out there who's listening, when we get this closer, it's going to be a couple months, and you can let us know that if you'd like to be part of it. We can have like a sign-up sheet, like on a community page or something, and you could tell us if you'd like to participate or not, and then we could do that.
Sounds interesting.
Because you got your beautiful bettas there. I know that shipping fish, and I'm not sure what it's like in Australia, but I know that I was talking with you guys from the UK, and it's difficult to ship fish in the UK. Mm-hmm. But you've done it before.
Yeah.
But you've done it. It's not like it would be, if you did it once, you can do it again. But,
definitely.
In certain cases, then also you could do like, anybody who's on the stream that you wanted to, like in your countries, you could say, well, depending on what area you're in, if you want to meet and pick up the fish or whatever. But most of the time, transactions are usually done with like PayPal or something, so the people will get paid. They'll pay for the shipping is usually paid for by the buyer, the same as you would from buying online or anything, and then that goes through, and then the person with the fish ships the fish, and everybody gets homebred fish, And generally, a really nice price. It's not most of the time. I've seen some of the prices on some of the auctions. They would put their stuff up for bid at higher than retail price, and I'm like, wow, I seen a pair of Goodyears go. They come on there $150 for a pair, and I was like, good luck with that. It was a lot of money. And so, but I think that, go on there. If you have something that you specialize in, like me, I got my black mollies, I'd, maybe put like some trios up or something for bid. If somebody wanted to get some high quality, hardy, healthy black mollies to have in their fish rooms and breed out and stuff, and, continue the line on, just let us know what you think.
Definitely.
Hey, see you later, Craig. Oh, is he talking to me or is he talking to Jeff Kane?
Talking to Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Okay. But yeah, like I'm not sure. Craig, he breeds a lot of beautiful fish, and I don't know if he'd want to be doing that.
You're just saying there's not a lot of in Oz.
Yeah,
Good idea, but there's not enough enough Aussies.
Oh, there's plenty of hobbyists. I mean, I don't know. You could try it. Put them up for bid and see if anybody else really wants to do it. We just have. But the thing of it is, the big part with this is with the other countries, we got to start advertising ahead of time, like now. And that way, by the time when August rolls around, people are going to have the information. It's going to circulate. If we put it out a week before we have the auction, it'll be a really tough turnout. But like I've been talking about it now, Arnold, for like the last 2 or 3 live streams.
Yep. And
trying to start getting the word out a little bit, and I think it's going to work out really nice. So, like some of your wild type bettas, I bet they would go for really nice, or whatever Jason. If you had any fish you wanted to do, and I know that with Arnold's got his beautiful bettas, I'm sure that he could easily auction some of them off.
I might buy some.
Yeah, you have to ship them across the country, though, across the Atlantic. That would be tough.
They ship them from me to Indonesia all the time, so what's the difference?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, the auction. I mean, I know I'd like to get with Jeff Kane and Skull and a lot of these guys that do really. I mean, they're fantastic breeders, and I know that they know other people that I don't know. So, and then we have Jason. He on the East Coast. I mean, you're renowned. I've had people. Who was it? Who was on our last stream? Jason. Was his name Joe?
Joe Ferreira. Joe, yeah.
Yeah, he told me. He said, when it comes to the East Coast, that you're one of the breeders that people look up to. So, and that, and I can see that. So,
I'm just a guy with a bunch of fish tanks.
Hey, that's what it's all about. That's what it is. You got a bunch of fish tanks. You breed nice fish. And hello there, June.
I'm not putting her link up.
We have 20 in chat right now, Arnold.
We do indeed. It's fantastic.
Yes. Yep. This is now this is one of the streams that I had on the side that I was doing. I thought to myself, you know what? Arnold has been such a huge help, and this has already got a little bit of a file. I said, Arnold, this is your live stream now. So it's his. So this is. He wanted me to host, but what we're going to do is he's going to gradually work himself into the hosting position of this live stream, and I'll be his co-host.
Oh, so we're on Arnold's channel right now?
What was that?
So we're on Arnold's channel right now? We're in your channel right now?
You're on mine. Yeah, you're on mine.
Yeah,
I have no idea whose channel we're on. I just go click on the link.
Yep, that's all it is. Clicking on the link. But what we did is, on StreamYard, it has the destination. And so what I did is we put it onto Arnold's destination. So in other words, when we get done here, the watch time or whatever goes to Arnold.
Okay.
So that's how that works. So when you start live stream, and then when we come and join yours, Jason, the watch time will be going on yours.
Yeah, I get lazy. That's my problem.
Well, that's okay. Whatever help you. If you ever decided to start doing your live stream from your channel, I'll help you with it. I'll co-host with you. It'll be great. You'll like it. It's fun. And I got this when I learned when Andrew brought me on to live streaming.
No, I don't know. You brought each other on.
Yeah. Well, you were first. You were on, and we came in about the same time. You were started earlier. And then,
I started with Jimmy P.
Yes.
I used to jump on with Jimmy P.
Yep.
And I built up, because obviously, he used to have his 2Ps with Mary Page, and then used to pop on.
Oh
there.
yeah, right. Jimmy.
I mean, me being live, everybody, Jimmy P's got a lot to answer for.
June says my goal is to be completely lazy and eat bonbons. Hey, I like your style there, dear. Yeah, bonbons. I can go for that. And Keith, live streaming is great. Yes, it is. What's he laughing about? What happened?
Oh, dear, Andrew.
What did he do?
Oh, Andrew.
What happened?
Yeah, he's just put a comment in the chat.
June has
No,
the hats. That's for Arnold.
Maybe blush.
Oh, look at him. He is turning red.
Yeah, look.
Right.
Well. Oh, for crying out loud, Andrew. Crying out loud.
It's the blue eyes, he says.
Yeah, I've got blue eyes.
Yep. Mine are. You can see them through the glasses. See, are they blue? Yeah, they're blue.
Jimmy.
June, I saw Arnold first.
Oh, Jimmy. Oh, what's that?
I got my wood from Jeff.
Was that the old gray piece, right? Is that the old gray one? Oh.
Just before the stream, he was playing with it.
Sorry? No, I'm not even going to go there.
The thickens.
And Gil singing, June and Arnold sitting in a tree. I
June's saying big wood. There's a nice bit of wood.
It's
Yeah.
cursed.
Yep.
Everything I put in this wood into it kills everything.
Arnold,
Oh, wow.
Arnold. What
Right.
about
that
June
kills
coming on
everything.
here Fishy Fishy next week?
You are?
What about June coming on here Fishy Fishy next week?
Oh, don't. I'm getting all hot and bothered.
She'll be there with bells on.
Oh, yeah. That's starting to feel a bit faint.
Sorry?
I said I'm starting to feel a bit faint.
Oh, feeling a bit faint, huh? Yep. You got Marie laughing.
Yeah. We need to start getting some guests on, don't we?
Mm.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you, I'm not sure what schedules are like or whatever. I'm not sure what your schedule's like during the weekend, Jason. But maybe a possibility, maybe perhaps if you, now that you've met Andrew, and of course you know me and Arnold, I mean, we got this stream, well, this is Arnold's stream, so I'm not sure when he wants to do it. If you want to do it every week this way, Arnold, we could. It's up to you. If you want to have like a regular, I can say this, that it's good to have consistency. If you wanted to do a live stream, I'd choose a time and then just do it every week.
Yeah.
And so something for you to think about. I mean, it's a
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, hey Fishy Fishy, it's, I mean, if you want to come on here Fishy Fishy, that's fine. But it's not a stream where we have serious conversations.
No.
No. We don't talk seriously about fish. It's just, it's Fishkeepers that get together, that just chill out and take the piss out of each other, and we have a quiz. We have a quiz. We have bingo. We just have a fun time. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, try to.
It is a lot of fun.
Shake them up.
And then usually for like my streams, like the AAA and this, we always try to.
Did it come across?
Who's that?
That?
Oh, she said shake them up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Shake them up.
It's looking for her.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew, we do talk fish. Fish bingo. That's what June says.
Yeah.
And Dean, Hobbytown, Chili, and Koi. That's why after. Yes.
Last week, Jason, we had Arnold's Nan on. And when Arnold's Nan is on, it's always... You've got to make sure that you don't drink a lot before you come on the stream.
What happened?
You'll just end up peeing yourself.
Oh, yeah, it's funny. She's 89 years old. She'll be 89 years old?
Yeah, she'll be 89 next month.
And she's spry. I tell you what, what was the, not last week, was it? Week before last we had Nan, right?
No, it was last week, wasn't it?
Last week, yeah. Yeah. She's pretty feisty though. She gets on there. If Andrew starts calling out numbers for the bingo and they're not her numbers, she'll holler at him. She'll say, "Shake them up, shake them balls." She'll say.
Junie's saying that is awesome. Shake them balls.
Yep.
What kind of prizes do you guys do for bingo?
Sorry, say again. I missed that.
You guys do prizes with the bingo? Do you give away free fish? Or you guys do the bingo game?
No, we just do it for fun.
I thought there'd be prizes.
Occasionally, we have like prize bingo on a Friday sometimes, but how the bingo works is we'll have the 3 prizes hidden within the card, and if the card is completed on that prize,
yep,
then I'll ship that prize out. And generally, it's a stick. It's either a channel sticker, channel mug, and then we've got channel like a canvas bag.
That's pretty cool.
Which we give out.
And then for the Net 10 quiz, if you get all 10 questions right, it's very difficult, but if you get all 10 questions right, you can win a Here Fishy Fishy mug.
Yeah. We only we've only had one winner on that, and I think that was the first time we did it. But the mug is very similar to this one.
All right.
See it because of the light, yeah. But that's my wife's. That's the fish lady, and I have one that's very similar. But I'm looking at doing another one, which is purely for a winner for Net 10, and then another one for the bingo as well.
Now, can we buy those from you too if we wanted to buy one?
You can buy one if you want. Yeah.
Yep.
How do we buy them from you?
If you go to if you go to my channel and have a look on the description of most of the videos, then there's a listing there to the shop.
Okay.
To the merch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, they'll be produced. He was saying, okay. They'll be produced in the UK. They're made. I don't carry stock here, so they'll have manufacturers in the UK, US, Australia. They've got them all over.
Yeah, they're made to order pretty much.
Yeah, so they just ship locally from you.
That's pretty cool.
While we've been sitting here talking, I just thought of a great name for our auction stream when we do it. We can call it the Aquarium Cartel auction. We're like a cartel of different fish breeders, so it's like Just an idea. I'm thinking so we can refine it later, but
Yeah. There's plenty of names. Late Night Attic.
yeah. Yep. Aquatic Addicts Auction.
The Fishkeepers auction.
Another AAA. Aquatic auction. Yeah. Aquatic Addicts Auction. AAA auction. Yep. Yes, indeed.
All right, I'm getting kind of hungry. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm starving.
And a breakfast time.
Yeah, it's been a enjoyable stream. We've been going an hour and 45 minutes.
Yep.
Yes.
So
I feel like this was a good one too. It stayed pretty productive. We kept going with it, which was nice.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think we're doing well because we started at 7 UK time. Now it's now 1 o'clock in the morning. 6 hours.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
It's only 8 o'clock there for me.
Yeah, it's 7:45 for me.
Yeah.
About 10 to 8, or 10 to 8, something like that. 7:48. But nice. Congratulations, Arnold, on your first stream with your show.
Thank you.
It's excellent.
Thanks for joining us, Jason.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And we'll be having other streams and everything too. So, but it's great. So, I'm going to let you go ahead and handle it from here. Arnold, go ahead.
Yeah, just want to say thanks to everyone for tuning in to this, my first ever live stream. I want to thank Jason from 5-Star Bettas. I want to thank Andrew and the Mafia King, Jeff.
Yeah, right.
Don't forget Jim.
You thought I was out, and you pulled me back in.
And I want to say thank you to the wonderful, beautiful June in the chat.
Yes, Jim, we'll see you next week at your Fishy. You're going to be there.
And yeah, make sure you tune into Fishy Bingo on Monday.
Yeah.
At 4, and then tune in again on Tuesday for the members only at
7 p.m.
At 7 o'clock. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Thank you all so much for watching.
7:30 on Tuesday, the members only one.
Yeah. And thank you so much for watching. So we'll see you again. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios.
See you, Jason. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me. Have a great night.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Take care.